Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this second stream of the day of Europa Universalis 4, where we are going to continue the game with Scotland, where we have taken over most of England by this point. There are still Wales, there are still Cornwall/Devon, and Ireland. We have not done very much in Ireland. Sligo, these two, are our minion. Ulster has fallen to our forces, and that's about it. We just fought another large war against England, which we won really quite easily, actually. And we then fought on behalf of Portugal, which didn't go particularly well, to try and fight off Morocco, but that was a failure, unfortunately. Morocco is being really quite aggressive, having already taken up a bit of Granada, and then going after Portugal. Castile, at the moment, is in a personal union under Burgundy. France is just about finished consolidating, though they still have to fight Burgundy, which will be a bit of a slog considering the forces arrayed against them. And then finally, we were just helping Denmark fighting in a war against Sweden. Unfortunately, the Danish, Swedish, Scottish, English, and Portuguese-Moroccan wars all happened at the same time, so I was stretched rather thin. Morocco did launch an invasion of us, which we managed to fend off. We took a bunch of land from the English. This was a 96 war score victory or something like that, in which London fell. And then we shipped our forces over to Denmark just in time for Denmark to peace out to Sweden, losing Sweden in the process. So Sweden is now independent. All of this will be posted up onto YouTube after this. I'll be doing 3 episodes a day until Tuesday. The game is released on Monday, I believe. Let me just double check that. It's on the 20th. No, the game's released on Tuesday. So, yeah, until Tuesday. Tuesday will be the last day with 3 episodes. So we'll be getting through this pretty quickly on YouTube. Anyway, the only successful war was the Scottish War. Well, it depends whose perspective you're seeing that from. Like, both of the other 2 wars were Sweden aggressing against Denmark. That was a Swedish victory. And then this one was Morocco attacking Portugal, which was also a Moroccan victory. So from the Swedish-Moroccan point of views, it was a victory for them. Anyway, we are slowly but surely shipping our troops home. The subsidies that we were getting from France have ended because we're no longer in a fight. And then the coalition that we had gotten is now collapsing. Despite the fact that quite a few areas over here hate my guts. I have a feeling that coalition's going to be returning fairly soon. Or else they just don't feel like they stand a chance at beating us, which is always possible. Okay, so what else is going on? We are fighting off a load of revolts. Sligo's getting more revolt issues than we are, though, which is kind of interesting. We are building up more transport so we can get more things shipped over faster. Let's bring you over here, and then hopefully you can speed up that process. Alright, where are you going? Here? Yeah. Alright, we're just going to stand over here. We're going to group up. Where's the big fleet? Here too. Stop! Damn it! Age of Reformation. From east to west, this is the age of religious conviction, debates, mass movements. In Europe, Protestantism is entrenched where militarism takes hold of Iran and religious syncretism shapes Indian society. Karakanulu immediately goes. Let's do that. Let's group you and then say get over to Lothane. Okay. Which is unfortunate because we had one of the ideas in the Age of Discovery, which was for colonies to be bigger, which we have since lost. Despite the fact that we've actually done nothing. We've taken the idea for exploration, but that's it. So we can get missionary strength and tolerance of heretics down. You know what? I like that idea. We'll grab that. And too few rivals. Right, because we lost England. So we can only rival Burgundy at this point. Which I'm not averse to, because France hates you too. Yeah, Burgundy actually is pretty strong at the moment. Is this the first time beating England and Scotland? No, we fought 3 battles against them and we have 3 victories against them. I'm still Catholic. The Reformation has only just started. Is this the first time beating them? Yes. I played this probably 7 or 8 times now. This is the first time since the Royal Britannia patch, and lost every time. Scotland was extremely difficult, but now Scotland's got more territory up here. Like the Isles have been split in half, Lothain's been split in half, Ayrshire was split in half, I think the Highlands were split in half. So they have just a lot more development, and therefore they're able to counter the English wealth a little bit easier. So it hasn't actually been that difficult to do this. It did require an alliance with Denmark, which at the time was union over Norway and Sweden, and with France, and I needed all of my allies for the first war. But after that, it's been rather easier. The biggest problem, unsurprisingly, has been the Royal Navy. Oh, and in the First War, the English were severely depleted because they just finished a war against Burgundy. And the Burgundian Navy did a bit of work against the Royal Navy. It was still there, but they were down to like 3-4 heavies, something like that. So they still had naval superiority, but it was nowhere as overwhelming as it could have been. Right, so at the moment we are waiting for war exhaustion to reduce. Then once that has reduced, we can get rid of the massive amount of overextension that we have currently. And our armies are all making their way home. We can humiliate Burgundy. I don't think I'm in a position to really do that just yet, but thanks. I'm going to split out the transports. I'm going to call you transports, then I'm just going to mothball you. And then I'm going to grab the light ships, and we are going to go and protect trade. Actually, we can upgrade some of you. For 85? Not really worth it at the moment. We're going to just protect trade in the English Channel. And then the next thing that we are trying to do is get enough... Oh, we just need to core London. So once London is cored, I can shift my trading capital down here. Have the North Sea feeding into the English Channel instead of getting money in both. And then things should start looking a lot stronger. Alright, good. Meanwhile, Henry Stuart has taken over. We again have to spend stuff on stability, which we'll go ahead and do. We still have one too many diplomatic people, but that's fine. Friesland, I can't marry you. You're not a monarchy. And then the other one was... France. I don't have an alliance or a marriage with France. Well, let's make sure that that gets done. We'll stop building a spy network in England. Royal marriage. Confirm. Families left behind. The recent war took a heavy toll on our people. Many were killed. Few returned. The families of nobles and commoners alike toiled as they waited for soldiers to return home. But the war ended, and they never did. Now the toiling continues, many being so preoccupied with the work to make up for the lost pair of hands, they barely have the time to grieve. Of the ones who have the time to think, many are increasingly thinking that we have been throwing away lives too carelessly. I would disagree with that. We just fought 3 massive wars. So we can take 5 years of national manpower modifier reduction. I think that's probably the best one at the moment. We have a new marriage, Adelaide, who is kind of rubbish. Do we have an heir yet? No, not yet. And actually, Henry I is kind of old. Yes, we are going to be repaying loans. That is exactly what we're trying to do right now. I may also try and recruit one of these guys. Probably a Diplo advisor. Diplo rep would be quite nice. Yearly inflation reduction. We're going to grab you. Because we've got 6% inflation now. Bartering increases, and it's about to go up even more. No, it's about to go down. That is a terrible rate of return. I'm going to take the autonomy. Am I going to form Great Britain? Probably not, actually. I kind of fancy the idea of Scotland ruling the world. Rule Scotland, dear. This is really itchy. It's like it's allergy season already. So money is just pouring in. We're not reinforcing any troops. We don't really have any rebels. too particularly worried about. What's that? I can invest in a new technology. That's a new button. Oh, because I'm ahead of time. Interesting. So I'd gain just 2 innovativeness because nobody else has modern theocracy yet. I don't think I particularly want to pay the extra admin for that, but thanks. Especially as I'm saving that admin for other things. Namely, waiting for the war exhaustion to go down and then buying all of these up. Trade League disbanded, Burkers, trade influence has gone down, that's fine. Are there any estates that we can abuse? We could certainly get some more money for the loyalty. Yeah, why not? And here, admin support. This is one that I would like, although actually that would send us over our limit. So we'll wait just a little bit. Cool. France is fighting someone. Who's France fighting? Saxe-Lauenburg and Hamburg. Why is Hamburg fighting? Oh, they're fighting Oldenburg. And Oldenburg have been a really good ally for France, actually. They did some serious work during the France-Burgundy War. Now, I wonder if we're in a state where people would actually accept vassalization. No. Our economic base is still too low, even compared to an OPM. The dynasty of our noble King Stuart is certainly a powerful one. Through Henry I, they rule our nation and will do so for many years to come. However, even the great are sometimes in need of help. Thankfully, the Stuarts have friends elsewhere. So we can send a thing to Denmark saying, hey, can I have some money? You know what? I don't think we need it. I'm going to take the prestige. Playing as Hamburg is really good fun in E4. I always find myself playing as Lübeck instead. Because that was the home of the, I said HRE, Hansa. France have forced Baden to break their alliance with Lorraine. Interesting. Right, actually, how is the Reformation looking? Because we got news that the Protestant Reformation had started, and it has indeed. It looks pretty secure that Germany is going to flip. These are actually very close together, so I think that this is going to be a strong Reformation. Also, Austria is extremely likely to lose the Empire, because they are hated. There it is, France declared war on Lorraine. Yeah, Austria is absolutely detested, because they got a PU over Bohemia. And they're currently fighting half of Germany. Let's go to the diplomatic map mode and you can see... Oh wow, France joined. Oh boy, Austria, 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 Austria. GG Austria. I think I'm just going to sit over here on my island and just watch Europe burn. How far over can this go? 36. Okay. Yeah, go for it. Extend that one. So that should be what, 4 left? 5 left. It's okay. We're down to 500 debt. We're still being completely outcompeted in the English Channel. Mostly because we're still getting trade from up there. Alright, how is war exhaustion looking? 5%. Still going down. We're at speed 4. We should be going. Friesland will be forced to pay Austria 10% of their monies. Wow, Friesland was the first to have peaced out. Surprising considering they're actually doing really well. Okay, and there it is. Admin's maxed. So, I think that we are going to get another idea. Inflation reduction actually sounds really helpful. Corruption's kind of high, but never mind. England are claiming Ulster. They're not trying to get the rest of England back. No. They're far more interested in Northern Ireland. Interesting. And I still need to try and build some more heavy ships. Because I made a terrible mistake of building a bunch of light ships, and I meant to do heavies. A succession war between France and Burgundy. If my king dies. That's not good. Because he's old. Treason against Scotland. Recruitment is out of necessary. Something that has to be somewhat decentralised affair. Often it will be entrusted to nobles in the capital when they are responsible to turn up a set number of men at various provinces under our control. This is a system that is, to some extent, relies on trust, as the central government is not involved in the details of the countryside mustering, and the only form of control we have are the often sporadic inspections the army itself conducts. One such inspection in Scarborough has unearthed quite a local scandal. The roles we have for the area is full of fictional names, and nobody seems to know what we have actually can muster from the area. So we can lose 2.5 army professionalism, or we gain it, and the nobility loses loyalty, and Yorkshire loses unrest and manpower for 10 years. You know what? Army professionalism is pretty good, particularly because right now I don't really want to pay for drilling. Because I'm still trying to pay off my loans, and drilling would be kind of expensive. So how is the war exhaustion looking? It's fine. English separatists are going to rise up soon, so it's a pretty good thing that I'm training my army, rebuilding it, bringing it up to full strength. And while that is happening, let's drop in the lid, make some tea. Scottish tea, of course. Freshly imported from the Highlands. And yes, I'm aware that tea is not actually grown in England. It's imported. Okay, good. I really don't want this king to die, because I really don't want to go into a union. Creating Great Britain may help with the separatist issue. Possibly. Actually, that's one thing I have not done, is made English accepted. Probably should. I think that's a cost well worth paying. Although, I might just try and culture shift England into Scottish. That would amuse me as well. I think I can also go and spend a bit more on military development. Really? Those are the best? Let's go and improve the wool province. Wool. Wool. That'll do for now. And those English separatists are definitely going to rise at some point soon, so whoop, we'll do that. And we're expecting them in Lincolnshire, Chester and Shrewsbury. Lincolnshire, Chester, Shrewsbury. So we'll put them in the middle in like Leicester or something like that. And from there, they will be able to react in any direction necessary. We have become a great power! The rest of the world shall tremble at the sound of our might. The glorious Scotland shall soar above the horizons, far and wide. England, you mean Greater Cornwall? Yeah. Really? They still win with Austria, even though half of Germany hates them. I am actually genuinely surprised by this. Wow. So Austria pissed off everyone in Germany except for the electors, apparently. Huh. Okay. And there it is, the revolt in Shrewsbury. Go and deal with those fools. What a massacre. Seal of confession. Spy network in England or Diplo power? Oh, I'm going to take the Diplo. Thank you very much. Victory is ours. Huzzah. That'll do. Right, how is war exhaustion looking? Still going down. We're still embargoing England, but I think that still makes sense. Waiting for that. We're still trying to pay off the loans, otherwise I could build some buildings. Are there any buildings that would be extremely worthwhile? 0.33 is a pretty good one, Lothane. 0.3 in Lothain. Trade? 10.4 in Lothain. London. London we certainly will want a marketplace. Because I mean to make a lot of money from London. But again, I want to pay off the loans. Because that interest is horrible. Well, once the army is more up to scratch, we'll do that. Although we have no rebels coming for some time. You know what, let's just continue focusing on the loan issue. We'll get that paid off. And also, we're not earning as much money as we could do because, again, 78% overextension. And actually, the one which is 35, we'll go ahead and start you. Royal marriage of Portugal? Sure. If Portugal can survive. There is that. Those Portuguese... Ooh, that's a nice number of separatists. What? Oh, that's in Sligo again. You're having really serious rebel issues. Why? You have way more rebels than I do. And I own half of England. Peasants typically had no voice, but they could occasionally gain access to the monarch and ask for redress. Sometimes those requests for redress could be directed to the local lord, who was perceived to be violating the peasants' rights. Stepping in to override a noble's local authority was a very drastic step. So the nobles could lose 10 loyalty, or we could have an uprising, but the nobles like us more. I'm gonna say... accept. You'll dislike me for a while. It's fine. Get over it. I'm going to also seek support from the clergy and then admin power. And I may also do the same from the burghers. Although their influence is only going to go up to 20, which is not even the minimum. I need to make London a burgher town. Once it's cored, we'll do that. Because I want London to make all the money. Although it does really amuse me, so after I conquered London, made it Scottish, there was an event saying, do you want to move all of the institutions from London into Edinburgh? It's -2 to all of the base stats in London, then +3 to all of them in Lothain. So Lothain is now one of the largest cities in the world, or Edinburgh is one of the largest cities in the world. Which made me chuckle. It's like one smaller than Paris. Paris is the 30. It's bigger than Vienna. Vienna's a 28. How is it compared to Rome? Rome's a 31. Constantinople's a... Wow. Constantinople's pretty big. 41. Newborn daughter! People rejoiced when they heard the news of a young princess had been born. They have celebrated for days and nights, and you have not named your young daughter the new heir yet. Oh, she is absolutely my heir. A 362? Yes. Mary? Sure. I'm generally just going with the defaults for the moment. Okay, so we are no longer at risk of being inherited, which is good. Brandenburg will be forced to give income to France and will annul all treaties with Austria. That's kind of unfortunate for Brandenburg because they were kind of being allowed to grow bigger because Austria wasn't claiming their territories. The Old Alliance. In 1512, France and Scotland renewed their old alliance as a counterbalance to England's involvement in the anti-French schemes of Pope Julius II. This later drew the Scottish into a disastrous war against the English. So we can continue our good relations with France, or we can improve them with England. No, France are amazing. We're buddies with them. Liège will cede Liège to France. France continues to grow. Actually, that's a good question. What is my trust like with the Danes and with the French? 60 trust, nice. 55. 50. I fought for you in a big war. And the Danes, I think I just improved it myself. Decreases if we break promises or otherwise act dishonourably. Can be increased by spending favours. Oh, it's only by spending favours. And then the higher the trust is, the more likely they are to join you in wars. So it can be pretty good if you... especially against human players, up against sneaky human players that like increasing their relations with you so that they are less likely to join the war on your side. Which may have happened once or twice to me. But now I know what the defense against that is. It won't get me again. Right, how are we doing on the war exhaustion? We're down to 2. So we've gone from 7 to 2. And these are dramatically cheaper. Like London was 70 odd. It was like 79. Pitiful European capital is nothing on the great Madagascaran city of Androka. The Church of Scotland, here we go. As the Protestant Reformation radically shifts the religious landscape of Europe, Scotland must make a firm stance on its faith. This has of course provoked much discussion in court, with some favouring the Protestant cause and others defending the traditional religion. King Henry I, however, has a novel idea for the creation of a different sort of church. A church where the king, as its supreme governor, a happy union of church and state, neither Protestant, Catholic, nor Reformed. It would take a flexible approach to doctrine that fits its circumstance. Such a church would have its advantages. No longer subject to any higher ecclesiastical authority, the king could marry and divorce at will, determine the nation's theological direction, and have the assurance that they are appointed to rule directly by God. So we can do the new one, which is the Anglican faith. The Pope hates us. Anglican becomes the new state religion. We get 176 ducats, which allows us to pay off another loan. Lothain becomes Anglican. We get religious zeal. Oh, Lothain, Lancashire, of course. The 2 best places in Great Britain become Anglican. And then we also get a missionary strength against heretics. We can evangelise, so Anglican becomes the new state religion. Lothain changes to Anglican. Lancashire changes to Anglican. We get religious zeal. We lose money. Why would I want to do that one? Well, this sounds like a poor basis. There will not be another opportunity to convert to Anglicanism. So this one goes and pisses everyone off. I assume that allows us to spread it, though. Ooh, no. Retract that statement right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this allows us to like try and spread it to Clarencade, England, Scotland, Desmond. It spreads it across... Oh, and to Burgundy, France, Savoy, Brabant, Flanders, Friesland, Holland, and Liège. No, we're going to be Anglican. This is fine. And now we need to do tons of converting. So we should probably do this in the hardest locations first. So we'll start with London, because we know the development there is high. And then we'll probably go from London down. Shetland, Orkney, Ulster, don't particularly care about those. Because once our 10 years of converting are done, these are going to be that much harder. Are there any ideas that will assist us with this? No. Okay, so what does Anglicanism do for us? Local unrest -3, that's because true belief. Oh, here we go. Development cost -10, innovation gain +50. Oh, hello. We're going to be getting a lot of innovation. Because I've actually been focusing this pretty heavily, so our innovation's going up pretty well. And then also the -10% development cost. We're going to be hugely wealthy. Technologically advanced and wealthy. Nice! I quite like that. But does it have any other, like, interactions? The Church of Scotland... it works the same way as... Protestant? Your consort will be divorced, religious marriages will end. Okay, so we need church power. How do we generate church power? Base monarch power times 10. Oh, minus religious unity. Okay. So we can get a new consort. We can gain money. Dissolving the monasteries. Fair enough. We gain mercantilism. This is an easy way of getting mercantilism. Interesting. And also stability. Ooh, I like this. This is an economically grounded religion. Doesn't help you at war, but Economics wins you the wars.